Good evening, folks. We want to welcome you to another edition of MLC Talk. This is the platform we discuss all things Lutheran. Today, we will be, um, today being the first Sunday of the year, we have with us in studio, our studios there in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, is Dr. George Toto. He's here again with us. We want to thank God Dr. Toto can be here with us. And also our brother there in Minneapolis, Brother Elijah Zina. And our sister couple, Silly, will be joining us very shortly from our studios there in Winnipeg, that's in Canada. Um, Today's conversation, we are discussing the topic, the Lutheran University in Liberia. Are we there yet? How far are we? What are some of the strides that have been made? Um, Today we have members of the administration of the Lutheran University. We have the president and listen, guys in studio. I know you're gonna say the Loma man, your family business, but I want to set this that Dr. Malapa is my uncle. It's no, they connoisseur uncle. It's my uncle from Feasible. All right. So if you hear me say Uncle Sakwi or Dr. Malapa, please forgive me, guys. All right. So yeah, but we are glad to have Dr. Sakwi Malapa. He is an educator. He the former professor at Toledo University in Ohio. And he's the current president of the Lutheran University in Liberia. We also have Reverend Brian Palmer. Reverend Brian Palmer is the dean of the College of Theology at Lutheran University in Liberia. We also expect to have Mr. Humphrey Lowell. Mr. Humphrey Lowell is the dean of the College of Sciences, Lutheran University in Liberia. So, folks, we have a great show again today. Before we go into our discussion, we just have to take a minute, just go to our studios there in Minneapolis. Elijah, how is the new year going on? I see you, man. You in the, why is that dark glasses or what do you have on?
I don't have a dark glasses. I'm kind of having it almost like a reading glasses for the blue light. Um,
Okay.
yeah. Minneapolis is it's not Minneapolis. I'm in St. Paul. Minnesota is a twin city, so I'm in St. Paul, and it's pretty much very very cold here today. Got about 15 degrees. Went to church. We went to church and just came back, and I'm happy to be here. Happy to see Brian Partner, Dr. Managua, and Mr. Humphrey. Is what Humphrey or Humphrey? Humphrey.
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 Humphrey Lawyer. So we hoping to have a very good conversation with all of you as it relates to that of the Lutheran University. So welcome all of you.
Thank you, Elijah. And also, we'll go strictly to our studios there in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Dr. George Toto, how is the Sunday going on today? And how excited are you for the new year 2025, especially kicking off with the Lutheran University? This is
Oh,
something that is dear to your heart. I decided to bring you in last.
yeah. Let me greet Dr. Balakba, Reverend Palmer, and Brother Lowell. For me, Pittsburgh, weather was a lot of snow was expected Saturday night, and without a bit of show again. Let me just register on the show that Dr. Balakba when I do my dissertation, and then I reached out to him to get some information about my dissertation, and then he connected me with some folks from Indiana University, and then it was a very good discussion. So Dr. Balakba record for that recommendation he did for me for my dissertation, and also as a son of Totota. I'm so happy and proud that Ida University is in Totota. I'm married in Totota, so that's a BS. I don't know how to describe it. It is a accomplishment for us for Liberia, in Totota. So again, kudos to the team. I'm glad to have a good discussion tonight.
Thank you, Dr. Toto. Um, so you know what? I will have the president right here in the middle. You know, flanked by his two deputies, his two deans. All right. So, the Lutheran University in Liberia. Um, how far are we? We're gonna give the opportunity to the president. As a monarch, he's gonna tell us a little bit, and we give the opportunity to Brother Lowell, Humphrey Lowell, and also Reverend Palmer. You know, how far are we? How far with the Lutheran University?
Thank you very much, Willie, and thanks for inviting us to this forum. On behalf of the Deans and myself, we are very grateful for this invitation. We are pleased to be here. Um, the we go back to the history of the Lutheran Church in Liberia. The Lutheran Church in Liberia has been here since 1860 and has focused on the tripartite, uh, uh, triadic focuses of ministry, health, and education. And I've done tremendously well in those three areas, in my view. But we've not had a tertiary education system that is a degree awarding. And the Lutheran Church and the Association of Liberian Lutherans in Americas, ALIA, decided to finally focus on establishing on such an institute in January of last year, January 18th to be specific. We were accredited as a degree awarding university. Prior to that, the College of Nursing and Health Sciences was established on two campuses uh, in Zaza and Phoebe, and they were accredited as degree awarding universities. When we were incorporated, when we were accredited as a university, they were merged into that university as part of the entity. And so we are on course with three campuses, one in Turita, Phoebe, and Zaza. The Zaza and Phoebe campuses are degree awarding institutions in the areas of nursing and health sciences. The Turita campus is going to be our headquarters, and currently it has the colleges of theology and education. And unfortunately, the lowest enrollment among the three campuses. But we are working on that. But that's where we stand right now, and I'll wait further information or questions.
Oh, thank you so much, Dr. Mankwa. So at this time, we will get the opportunity to we're gonna go straight to our studios there in Minneapolis. Like Brother Zina, you can go ahead with your questions and two questions, and then we can have Dr. Tutu will follow up on that.
Oh, Willie, I would like to suggest that we listen to the guests in studio. The president just gave an overview of the university, and the two deans are in the studio. I'd like to listen to the both of them to say something about their colleges, and then we can start asking them questions.
Sure, absolutely. We can go that route as well. That's fine. Yep. All right. So,
Yeah,
Mr.
yeah.
Humphreys, College of Sciences, can you please just give us a little bit info on on your college? What's the college up to at this time?
All right. I want to take this time to welcome the the president, the platform guests, for the opportunity provided for us to be part of this discussion. First, as our president has said, the College of Health Sciences, including the Lutheran University, was given accreditation by the High Commission on Education in Liberia in
In addition,
just as he mentioned. And I want to inform you that the College of Health Sciences in Liberia is considered as center of excellence. Why am I saying that? Other nursing schools are coming in country are coming to Phoebe and Esther Beacon to borrow from us in terms of our high profile. As I speak to you now, the College of Health Sciences uh, is one of the best in Liberia because we have high profile nurse educators. In addition to that, the College of Health Sciences also campus is the only college or health science college in Liberia that has the full measurement of the demonstration lab, which is over 55 feet by 55, and just as Phoebe. In addition to that, we have educators that are retained since their graduation from the master program of Mother Part-Time. In addition to that, when we were given the accreditation by High Commission far back in 2021 June, and later given the university status, we have had a lot of different achievement partners. As I speak to you, from the 6th of January tomorrow, the schools, deans, clinical instructor, preceptors, dean of College of Health Sciences in the entire country of Liberia will be coming to Phoebe starting workshop, FOL workshop, that will be lasting up to the 10th of January. And that is what we can do. In addition to that, we graduated um, different disciplines at Zozo, 66 students, and Phoebe. For the first time in the entire country of Liberia, we have we have graduated 16 students of nurse anesthesia or nurse anesthetists. These are professionals that are known to either give some anesthetic agent to numb people while they are in graduation. I mean, they are going through operation. And that is the only school in Liberia. Nurse anesthesia program is the only program in Liberia now existing. And the nurse midwifery program is the only program in Liberia, and which is based in Phoebe. And the mental health program is the only bachelor program that also is based in Phoebe. So we are known for post basic training program. That is people who people who people who go to school and become nurses, and after nursing they decide to go in other career pathway. They can also come to Phoebe to have those studies done. We have other programs, for example, um, basic nursing program, basic midwifery program. We have a laboratory program, and that is one of the standardized laboratory program with a special demo lab with a screening microscope that you cannot find it in country. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Humphrey. I mean, wow, Lutheran University. I mean, you just started. Anyway, let's have Reverend Brian Palmer. Reverend Brian Palmer is the
Excuse me,
name. Yeah,
we
go
are
ahead,
not
go
just
ahead.
starting. We started 100 years ago,
Okay,
and that's our pathway. We have
the
been in the
pathway.
business of health for a long time, even
Okay,
though we were offering back, I mean, how to call it, diploma program, but we were
right.
up to that. And in
Okay.
fact, Phoebe and Esther Bacon are always on the map for scoring high schools
Oh yeah,
in our country.
absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely. Yeah. Thank you so much. Reverend Brian Palmer. Am I pronouncing that right? Palmer.
Yeah, Palmer, just like your father.
Oh,
But I'm not a
oh,
tree, I'm an er.
I know. Reverend Brian Palmer. I mean, you serve as the dean of theology, the theological college.
Yeah. Unlike the Phoebe and Zorzor campuses, which have been
Mhm.
operating for, as Mr. Lowell said, nearly 100 years, The Totota campus only became active in September of 2024, so just a few months ago. And we're nearing the very end of our first semester. We are offering courses in support of persons pursuing bachelor's degrees within either the College of Education or the College of Theology. We have a total of 8 students who registered for the first semester, 6 of whom are registered within the College of Theology and 2 in the College of Education. And some might say that the number is small. I think, frankly, it's just perfect. Um, Liberians, as a rule, struggle to find good education within Liberia, and frankly, are right to be skeptical when a new education opportunity comes about. I am absolutely convinced that there is a real hunger amongst young Liberians for what I call honest, excellent education. And I am sure that as word gets out that honest, excellent education is what you're going to find at the Totota campus, people are going to come here in droves. But the skepticism is frankly justified, and it doesn't turn me off in the slightest. We we As I said, the first semester seems to be going pretty well. The next semester is going to be starting in sometime late February, maybe the beginning of March. That's something we're going to talk to the president and the dean, Lowell, soon about. That's
Thank
it.
you. Yeah, thank you so much. That's impressive. So we will go to our studios there in Minneapolis. Brother Elijah Zena, you want to come in with your 2 questions? Then that will be followed by our brother from our studios there in Pittsburgh.
Wait, just for clarification, the 2 questions for each of the panelists, or just 2 questions at just for now?
No, 2 questions just for now.
Okay, I got a lot of questions though.
No,
So
2 questions just for now, please.
okay. Um, first of all, I want to say thank you to the leadership of the Lutheran University for taking up your time to join us to have this conversation today, to provide some clarifications around the university. I know that the Lutheran Church in Liberia has been in the system for so many years. Um, Education, health education, or nursing education, we have been in that, but we were at the diploma level. And then we've been providing some kind of a theological education, but it has been like a joint venture thing. But now we are going our separate way to have a Lutheran university and to have our own college educational program. That is good. The first thing to the president of the LUL, sometimes ago when you were taking on this challenge to go to Africa to start up the new role as a president of the Lutheran University, we were told that you're going to establish a world class university. And when we talk about a world class university, it comes with a lot of things. And right now, you are operating, I guess, 4 colleges, because that is the health theology, or 3 colleges, that is the health education and theology. The first thing I want to know for you is, can you lay out what the organic gram of the LU is right now, started from the president down? Yeah, I'd like to know that again, the ground. And then my next question is, how do you feel at first when you took on, when you left from here and went to Liberia to take on this position? How do you feel now as president of this university? Do you see prospect going forward? That will be my second question, and then I will wait for. I got question for Brian and Humphrey, but I will wait until the president has done.
That will be in the second round.
Yeah,
Let's allow the president to come in.
yeah.
Go ahead, that's Monica.
Thank you very much for the question, Mr. Zina. I appreciate the question. First, let me talk about how do I feel. I was a tenured professor at the University of Toledo for 38 years. I left my tenure position to come here. When I accepted the position, I said to myself and to the bishop and to the folks I met when I came back in January of last year that I was coming with no illusions. I expected hardship. I expected, impediments to functioning. I expected setbacks, and I said I even expected insults. When you begin something like this, you have to expect those things because the task is enormous. And so I came in with no illusion of difficulties and hardships and setbacks. And that's exactly what I'm facing now. Um, our biggest challenge is finance. We need finances to establish the institution. We need finances to uh, update and expand our facilities, our and personnel, and recruit students, embark on publicity, and all of these things that we need to run the university. Personnel in human resource services, procurement officers, publicity and public relations. We need finances for all those things, and we're facing a very stiff problem in terms of raising funds. I've done the best I can. I've beaten the bushes as best as I can. That doesn't mean I'm giving up by any means. We'll continue to seek those challenges. So, in terms of what are my expectations, how do I feel? I feel that we are on course. I'm blessed, privileged to work with people who are committed to the course of our mission, and we are dedicated to providing what I've always called a world-class university. The organogram of our university is thin in terms of senior personnel in our institution. I serve as president. We have two deans, two associate deans, the dean of the College of Theology and the College of Nursing and Health Sciences. Um, and these are people it's a privilege to work with. We have an associate dean at the College of Health Sciences in Zazo, an associate dean for admission in Phoebe. Uh, Others are, director of IT services in Zaza, and a host of department chairs and instructors in the two colleges in Zaza and Phoebe. So we have a very thin uh, um, cadre of senior personnel. There's a lot of opening for senior personnel, vice presidents, and directors of various segments of our institution. We are slower in recruiting these individuals for lack of finances. Again, we're working on those possibilities. But in terms of our organogram and how I feel when I took over, where I am now, I think that's a synopsis of where we stand.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Dr. Malaka.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Malakwa. We're gonna be having Dr. Toto coming in, but before Dr. Toto can come in, I just want to announce that folks, you can please see some of the questions already in queue. Please send your questions. We will also provide a phone number that you can call in to participate. For now, you can have your questions coming in through the comment field. We will, like I said, provide a phone number so you can interact with our guests in studio. Dr. Toto.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Also to Dr. Balagwa and to the two deans.
I'm in a conversation.
They explain. There's been a lot to us. Uh, my first two questions, I think one will go to the president, the other go to Reverend Palmer. Dr. Balagwa, let me say for the record, I was the vice president for Aliyah, and we came on the decision, to recommend you to be the president of the the Lutheran University based upon your track record and the experience that you have. That we believe that you could make you LU or UL to be a world-class university. Since you took over as president of the university, in terms of funding, how is it been like? In terms of giving the financial support to run the university, how has it been like? And the next question is, Reverend Palmer spoke about in terms of the enrollment process. Is it because the high cost of tuition that make the enrollment process a bit lower, or what performance metrics have you put in place?
All right. So
All right.
yeah, we can have the president first. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dr. Toto, thank you for the question, and thank you for acknowledging that I made a minor contribution to your dissertation. Frankly, I don't remember, but I'm glad I did. I took over with the awareness that there was going to be major financial constraints, and that was not an illusion. Since I took over, that's been the biggest challenge. I have fought very hard to seek grant resources, to seek funding from European, American, and Liberian sources for funding. And I regret to say that we have not succeeded much in terms of raising funds. Aliyah has been a great support in terms of funding my repatriation to Liberia, contributing to the renovation of my home in Turita, and they also have some money for the establishment of a technology hub. I'm glad you're from Turita and you appreciate what we're doing. I'm also glad that you acknowledge our constraints. But in terms of finances, those are our constraints. We need money to recruit personnel, like I said earlier, personnel in areas of human resource development, finance management, um, publicity, etc. We need money to establish our technology hub. Aliyah is offering something. I also appreciate your recommendation that I be president of Lutheran University. I appreciate the confidence you and Aliyah reposed in me, and I hope I'll do all I can to live up to your expectations. But no, please know that the challenges are enormous and many. But we're doing the best we can to live up to our personal expectations before we can even think about other people's expectations of us. But again, to answer your question directly, the biggest challenge is financial constraint.
Thank you. I think that was a question to Reverend Palmer.
Yeah, Palmer, yeah.
Yeah, he was asking about if the cost of attendance was affecting our ability to recruit students. And I would say, yeah, I think that's generally true throughout Liberia. I can tell you that our costs were selected to be uniform amongst the three campuses. So the College of Health Sciences, as it exists in Zorzor and Phoebe, charges the same amount that we charge in Torota, which for a full-time student is $100 for registration plus $15 per credit hour. For a student taking 18 credits, it turns out to be about $370 per semester. We've done a few things. One is I've pushed for us to make available a part-time option, at least within the colleges of education and colleges of theology, so that if somebody wants to come, is having trouble with either the time or the resources to attend full time, there'd be a less expensive part-time option where if they only want to take one or two courses, they could pay a reduced registration fee of $50 with the same per credit hour cost. And in fact, I think I mentioned that we have two College of Education students, and those are both local teachers who are taking advantage of this part-time option that is available. Otherwise, they wouldn't even, they wouldn't have the means. I think it's I've been teaching on the university level since I've lived in Liberia, which has been a little bit more than 14 years now. And my observation is the vast majority of university students in Liberia have either scholarships or sponsors who are helping them to attend. Um, Very few are paying for themselves. Very few, relatively few, have families that are paying them. They really are finding people who are supporting them either in the form of scholarships in the university or government officials who are offering assistance, this type of thing. So far, and to be fair, the six theology students that we have are receiving significant support from either their congregations or the Lutheran Church in Liberia, which is the only reason they were able to come. So yes, cost is a huge factor. I think, again, it comes back to this issue of if we are providing excellent value and people come to realize that if they come to the LUL, they're going to receive a tremendous education that is both honest and transparent, then I think sponsors will be much more willing to support students to come here. And I'm also hoping, frankly, that we get more of the churches within the LCL creating local scholarships for their students. I'm also a member of the Executive Council for the Lutheran Church in Liberia, and they were talking about raising funds and in support of the LCL. And I threw out, if a church is hesitant about just sending money in support of the LUL, what they could do if they want to feel like they're getting something for their money is they literally put together a local parish scholarship and they send one or two of their young people to the LUL to attend. Frankly, enrollment is roughly equivalent to just receiving money. So to me, support in either form would be great. But yeah, to answer your question, yes, cost is a deterrent for everybody. What we can do to not necessarily reduce costs, but to find support for students who want to come, that would be a tremendous help.
Thank you, Reverend Palmer. I want to ask my question this way, and I'd like to know what is the relationship like LUL and our congregations in terms of the reception. How are they receiving the Lutheran University? I know we had our Phoebe Esther, the Esther Bacon in Zozo, and then the Phoebe School of Nursing, and we're so proud in sending our kids to, let's say, our parents sent us to Phoebe and Esther Bacon, but now they were just diploma granting, but now full university. Is the message in our congregations, our congregation members seeing the essence of sending our sending the young people to the Lutheran University? So I'd like to know what is the reception, or what is the relationship between our parishes and the Lutheran University in terms of publicity. The next question I want to ask is, and anyone can answer this. The next question I want to ask also is there that relationship or partnership with Lutheran University and the Lutheran Church school system? Now, remember we have a school system, all right, and we have a lot of high schools, and these high schools, once the students graduate, once they graduate from high school, they will be going to you know, tertiary education. And in the case of like our sister denomination, the Catholic Church or the Methodist Church, you find a lot of them graduate from Methodist school. They would like to go to UMU, or they like to go to Stella Maris Polytechnic. All right. Um, so in the case of the Lutheran University, is there is there any relationship like that, or are there plans to have to establish such relationships so that students graduating from our high schools will see the need to go to Lutheran University? And anyone can answer that. That can be the president, Brother Humphrey, maybe Brother Humphrey come in, or maybe Reverend Palmer can come in. Either one of you can come in on those two questions.
Well,
I
let me come
go
in.
ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me
That's
come
about
initially, and Reverend Palmer or Mr. Lowell can follow up.
sure.
Um, First, our relationship with uh, parishes and church congregations. We are doing everything we can to establish connections with church congregations and parishes. I have proposed to the Executive Council that the church sets aside a specific month of the year to be um, attributed to the Lutheran University of Liberia.
Okay.
During that month, I proposed the congregation will raise funds to support LUL, and I'll make effort as president, and I'll encourage the deans to visit as many congregations as possible throughout the country. The executive council has not set that particular month. So right now, our contacts with congregations are on the quote unquote personal level in the sense that it's LUL that is trying to touch base with individual churches and parishes. In terms of our relationship with uh, students from our Lutheran high schools, uh, one of our one of our efforts is to ensure that we contact as many Lutheran high schools as possible, and there's a specific amount. Mr. Lord can speak to that. Maybe Pastor Palmer can speak to that. I think there's 7 or 8. But they had a meeting. The leaders of those institutions, the principals, had a meeting at Phoebe at one time, and I went there and spoke to the principals and administrators from the various board members from the various Lutheran high schools and told them that I was willing to travel to the various high schools and actually speak with them, speak to them, and inform them about the Lutheran University of Liberia. And I was sitting to accept any invitation to go to any of those high schools. I've not received any invitation so far, but I wouldn't give up in terms of contacting various high schools, not only Lutheran high schools, but as many high schools as we can. And that's the essence of our radio and television publicity that we want to emphasize so much. That's one big area where we are lacking publicity. We're beginning to pick up pace. This morning, I had an interview with Mr. Coleman, who is the ELBC Lower Bond County correspondent, and he hopes to put the interview on Facebook and other social media. But to answer your question briefly in terms of our connection with congregations and Lutheran high schools, that's briefly how I can put it. I'll let Mr. Lowell or Reverend Palmer to follow up with any additional comments.
I'd like to add on to that. I visited many congregations, Lutheran congregations, on Sunday mornings uh, to visit and to announce the creation of the Totota campus for the Lutheran University of Liberia. And the enthusiasm was overwhelming at every congregation I visited. Everybody was excited about the prospect, right? I've also visited many, many, many 12th grade classes within a 60-mile radius of Totota, not just the Lutheran schools, but every 12th grade class I could get into. And Dr. Malakpa and I could have a conversation on the way to do that, because it's not a very difficult thing. You just show up on the campus and say, "Can I speak to your 12th graders?" And they will take you to where they are, and you can just talk to them for 10 minutes. And Again, there's an enthusiasm, especially among the Lutherans. The one provision that is uniquely Lutheran that the university has made for Lutheran students is that if they are graduating from a Lutheran high school, then they can forego the entrance exam because it is assumed that they've received
That's
adequate
exactly
preparation. So they do get a benefit like that. I would love to see the parishes go a step further, and the schools go a step further and create some scholarship opportunities for Lutheran students. Again, although I see this tremendous enthusiasm, at the same time, to be frank, it's tempered by a skepticism and a wanting to wait and see, is this really going to be all right, especially with regard to the Totota campus. Not so much with regard to Zorzor and Phoebe, but with regard to Totota and theology and education, everybody's, I have people regularly call me and asking me, so is the campus going to hold? They will ask, and I tell them all that we are 100% fully committed to seeing this succeed, and I know I feel like we are succeeding. It's going to be a gradual process in order to establish a reputation that pays dividends in terms of enrollment, but we'll get there. I want to point out, and I pointed this out to the executive council at the last executive council meeting when they were asking about enrollment in Totota. Phoebe's nursing school, which started 100 years ago, their first graduating class had 3. Right?
Right. So yeah, thank you so much for the contribution, Reverend Palmer. And again, folks, we want to say thank you so much for tuning in. Today we're having a conversation with the Lutheran University, Lutheran University of Liberia. This is something that have been to the heart of every Lutheran, I would say. I know we have a lot of comments, questions in the comments field. We are going to post the numbers out very, very briefly. But what we're going to do is that we're going to give another round of questioning. We're going to give one question each. It's a lot and we don't have enough time. We're going to give one question each, then we go to the comments field, and I will also open the line while we go ahead with our one question each. So I will go with Dr. Toto first this time around. He would just go with his one question. All right, go ahead, brother Sinner.
Yeah.
I don't think we have to limit this to one question at this time with it. This is a very important conversation we're having.
I agree with
And
you.
I know we don't have the time.
We have more questions in the queue. And
I agree.
Right.
I agree.
So let's do one. We're gonna come out with another one again. Let's do one each.
Then I will do one to each of them because I had a question for Brian and Humphrey, and then I didn't ask them.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No problem with that. No problem with that. So we're gonna do one each. Dr. Toto, you can go ahead and do your one, and I'll be opening the lines, and we'll have our callers calling in as well, and we'll also be recognizing our viewers, and we'll be taking their questions in there as well. Okay, go ahead, Dr. Toto.
Okay, again, take you, Dada Malakwa, whenever you speak about the progress of the university, I feel so impressed, But let me know it for you in terms of your relationship with the board of trustees of the university, and also the Lutheran Church in Liberia and the board of trustees. Are you gonna have a good relationship? Is everything okay?
Absolutely. I have a very amicable, supportive relationship with the board of trustees and the ex-official members of the board of trustees. Those will be the bishop and the president of Aliyah. We have a very amicable relationship. They are very supportive of what I do, and I am very attentive to their suggestions and directions. So we are working together very amicably,
That's good.
for which I'm very pleased.
Go ahead, Brother Zina.
Okay, thank you, Willie. Thank you again, Brian, and Mr. President, President Sakwe, and the rest of you. There are so many questions for me that I have here, but because of time, we might not be able to go in all of them. But my first question will go to the dean for the theological college. Um, so I went on on the website of the Lutheran University, and I kind of like went to the College of Theology, and the little narrative underneath that it speaks directly towards Lutheranism. You're going to teach people the perspective of Lutheranism, and then you talk about the enrollment of students into the university at this point is about 6 students, which is very low. So and I believe that when you are starting up a university, burning that university and having sufficient awareness program or advertisement or art in the news and everywhere about the university is very key to the university as it relates to attracting people to the university. So, as your curriculum, or not your curriculum, but your website, if I'm a student from the Methodist or the Baptist faith and I want to come to the Lutheran University and I go to the Lutheran University website and I open it and it says, oh, we teach Lutheran perspective. So, how can that attract other students who are not Lutherans to the Lutheran University? And this is a compounded question. And then I look at the free form, the application form. Also, you have the College of Theology, you have College of Christian Education and Christian Counseling. Most of these things sound to me like people who are in the Lutheranist program. So I want to know if somebody is graduated from Christian Education, what kind of degree are you giving them from that program, or Christian Education, what kind of degree are you giving them as well? That would be for Brian. And then for Mr. Humbre, being the Dean of the College of Health Sciences, my niece is attending the Esther Bacon College. Phoebe.
Elijah, FYI, Mr. Humphrey dropped off.
Oh, he
His
gone out.
network.
Okay,
He went out.
maybe the president can speak to this since he's here. Mr. President, you have the Esther Bacon Phoebe College of Health Sciences, and my niece is right now in Esther Bacon in Lofa. And you said students who graduating from Lutheran school would not take entrance. I don't know. We pay her entrance fee before she entered the Esther Bacon school. She was late for Phoebe entrance, so she could not go to Phoebe. She had to take the Esther Bacon school, and that got me shaking a little bit. Why you have to have the two campuses giving entrances at different time, having graduation at different time, and running the university on separate calendar when they are underneath one college, and you have the two campuses operating separately, having graduation separately. So I'd like to know how you came up with that decision, and how is the curriculum for the university or the academic calendar is developed to run the College of Health Science or Health Sciences.
Can I
Reverend
go
Palmer,
ahead?
we can
And
start with you, Reverend Palmer.
um, uh, I mentioned a few minutes ago that I had been teaching at the university level here in Liberia for over 14 years. And the vast majority of that teaching has been at GST, the Banga School of Theology, which is a Methodist university. And it is very, very clear to me, getting to a point you were making, that that everybody benefits from an ecumenical environment. Up at GST, we've got a good number of the strong majority of students are Methodist, but there's a good number of Lutherans, there's a good number of Pentecostals, and a few scattered Baptists now and then, right? Um, and I'm pleased to say that here at in Totota, even though our numbers are very small, we have we've had one Pentecostal local to Totota who took a chance, was overwhelmed, and convinced his Pentecostal brother in Christ from Mamu, which is 5 miles down the road, and he's a new student who's going to be entering next semester. So I know I'm fully committed to the value added, um, in terms of everybody improving their own sense of denominational identity by learning together in an ecumenical environment. And I know when I teach classes related to theology, I'm very often lifting up and pointing out the various ecumenical options and ways of interpreting scripture that support the different viewpoints that are observed, so that everybody comes away having an honest respect and regard for our brothers and sisters in Christ from various faith traditions. That said, I encourage the students to meet after class and argue with one another.
Brian, let me interrupt you a little bit,
Yeah.
Brian. I'm not really speaking about the classroom tactics or the or techniques in the classroom. I'm speaking directly to what you have out there for the
Okay.
public to read. Like you say, on the website, you said specializing in the study of theology from a Lutheran perspective, teaching or training
Okay.
students for vocational Lutheran ministry, education, and theological scholarship within the context of Lutheran faith. So my thing is, how does that reading attract me, who is not a Lutheran, but wanted to go to a theological college? How does
Sure.
that attract me to the Lutheran University when it is specializing only in teaching of Lutheranism?
No, I'm with you, and I you make me want to revisit what it says there, and maybe rethink the strength of that statement, and maybe temper it with a little bit more welcoming tone regarding other faith traditions.
Yeah, I would agree with you because we know that theologic is kind of divided into different types, and it's a study of religion. So it's not particular to a particular faith. So if
Sure.
we're running a theological
You dropped off.
educational college, so it should be open, like it is
I'll let them know.
ecumenical,
Sure.
as you are saying. And the wording on our website should be welcoming to other students of different faith into our university. Like you said, you teach at the GST. They're not only teaching methodism, even though there are courses there. When you do church history, you're going to learn about Wesley, John Wesley, and you're going to also learn about Martin Luther at GST as well, and other forefather of faith. You're going to learn about them.
Sure.
So I think there's a need to revisit our website and also put a more contextual meaning to what our theological education is.
Okay.
And then my second question was the kind of degree you are offering the students who are in the doing Christian education and that of education counseling.
Yeah, I'm not sure what you. So you in the
It's on the
application
form.
itself.
It's on the
I
application
understand.
form.
It says, would you like it? These are various bachelor's degrees that are offered, right? General theology, which is generally to equip people who want to become pastors. And then there's Christian counseling, and then there's Christian education. The Christian education is meant for people who are going to be overseeing Sunday school programs. The Christian counseling is for people who are going to be doing exactly that, become qualified for counseling from a uniquely Christian perspective. I'm not sure what I can say beyond that.
So I know when you do the BTH or when you do the theology from a bachelor level will be a BTH. So if I did Christian education, how would you call that degree? So
I think
say
it's
for an
going to.
instance, if I
These
did
are
say
all
for an
within the
instance,
College of Theology.
okay, is it going to be a BA or a BTH?
And I'm going to be totally frank. I'm not sure, because everybody here likes to say Bachelor of Science, but I don't think that's what it's going to be.
No, BA would be
It's
a
gonna be-
bachelor of arts. It will be BA will be a bachelor of arts.
That's right, and we've had some conversations because what we're trying to do, what you and I are trying to do right now and is have a conversation about how we want to deviate from the application that was originally made to the National Commission for Higher Education that was approved. And it's clear that there are some deviations that need to be made, right? And
Sure.
some adjustments that need to be made. And we're blessed to have a little bit of time to create that clarity
To
in
tweak
a
it a
way that
little
is
bit.
sensible. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Thank you so much. Um,
Dr. Panapa didn't answer the second question, Willie,
so so
about
no,
Phoebe and Esther Bacon.
right, but Mr. Humphrey just got off his network is bad. I was trying to call him directly and so we can get him on. Then I'll rather we get some of the questions in there because time is fast spent. It's almost 9 p.m. in Liberia. So maybe we can take some of the questions from the queue and then recognize some of our guests while we try to get Mr. Humphrey on the line, if that's okay with you.
Yeah,
Sure.
that
You know what?
that get on the queue.
Huh?
Question on the queue.
Okay,
Sure.
okay. All right. So again, folks, we want to say thank you so much for staying with us. We want to just recognize quickly brother um Bimba Dukle. I want to say thank you so much for following us. Joe Joe Kara- Elijah, help me pronounce this name, man. I just have
Kelly,
I have my wisdom teeth removed.
Kelly
Oh,
Colo. Kelly
Kele
Colo.
you
Colon. All right.
hold on.
Kele Colon. Okay. And talk about the Lutheran University. It's the church, in the church status. We need to look at the curriculum. That's good. Um, and there are more questions from curriculum. Patience holy. Elijah, you have to help me today, man.
How
I
are
don't
it,
want to
man?
bite my
Patient,
I
how
keep
are it?
biting my yeah, okay. Patient who?
How are it?
Holy. Okay,
Patient, how
Hawale. Okay, we have Luther Nopa, and our dear brother Leo Lipele Nimplu Johnson. This is my brother from St. Matthew. We all grew up together, and want to say congratulations to him too for that great initiative undertaken by his institution, Empowerment Square in Liberia. He has so many questions here, though. We're going to be coming to them. Um, JD Powell, we want to say thank you so much. Oh, thank God, Mr. Humphrey is back. JD Powell, want to say thank you so much for following us. Um, the Colonel Sierra, Leo has a lot of questions. We will go back to the questions. Says Tati Colley, want to say thank you so much. The Reverend Doe, Saka Doe, we want to say thank you so much for following us. Um, our own Bishop Patmo is here. He's greeting everyone. Bishop, we hope to get you on the phone so you can bless us tonight. This is the first Sunday. And our own Father Menikbele K. Smo. Menikbele K. Smo is here with us. So we're gonna go to the questions. And he's watching from St. Louis, Missouri. All right. So some of the questions here, I think we're gonna start with Brother Leo. Brother Leo has few questions. So Reverend Patmon, um, Dr. Malapa, and Mr. Humphrey, if you can just take note, try to read some of these questions. Folks, forgive me, please. I just had my wisdom, all four of them removed, so I will try my best. Um, how is the Lutheran University funded, and how will it be sustained to ensure quality education and not by the Liberian standard? Yeah, I think that's a fair question. A question from JD Powell: how much are the hosts of this podcast investing in LUL? Okay,
Oh, that's our question. We'll answer him.
we'll answer that. We'll allow Elijah. Elijah will speak to that.
Yeah.
I think this is the same question from Leo. Um, this is not a question. Leo also has a question here again. He said, how can we guarantee quality education in the midst of lack of financial resources? Is there a fund development plan to ensure that we do not end up offering low quality education and reinforcing the status quo of doing things small in Liberia, thereby compromising quality? I think that's a fair question as well. Um, he also asked the question, who owns the Lutheran University? I think I can answer this because Dr. Marapa also spoke to this question from the very beginning. He talked about the tripartite relationship. So now the Lutheran University is owned by Aliyah, the Lutheran Church in Liberia, and the Lutheran University. And I stand to be corrected. And
I
Dr.
think they
Toki,
are owned by the Lutheran Church in Liberia.
okay, it's owned by Lutheran Church in Liberia, pretty much, so to speak. Um, he also has a question here, and these questions are very important. But the time again, I know perhaps we're going to bring the Lutheran University back. Um, the question he asks here is: are the accreditations or degrees offered by the Lutheran University internationally recognized and or accepted? Are these internationally recognized credentials? Um, and Joe, you asked for the for my phone for the phone number. I'm sorry, the phone number we are using. You asked for that. Um, please call in. If you don't get me, please call me on WhatsApp because what happened is that if you call and the number is not saved, it will go to voicemail. I'm sorry about that. Um, I think pretty much that's far. Brother Johnson and um Brother Joe has these questions. So, Elijah, you care to respond to our question, and then once you respond to that, then we give our guest the opportunity to respond to the questions, the many questions.
Oh yeah,
that-
for the fact that we are also part of Aliyah, we have been supporting the formation of the Lutheran University from day one. We have had fundraiser in the US here that contributed towards that the money was going back home to Africa to start on this project. So that's how we are involved. And what we are doing here today is some of our investment into that process because we want to bring awareness to the Lutheran University and want to ensure that it is moving and people are aware that we have a Lutheran University in Liberia that's providing quality education to Liberians. So that's how we are investing as the MSC talk. That's our involvement with this process and our affiliation with Aliyah as well. And on that note, Wendy, I would like for Dr. Humphrey to answer my question before they get to the jotted down
be-
questions.
Before,
Um,
yeah, Elijah. Before I know you want us to get that Mr. Humphrey quick because his network is in and out. But we have a caller. Can we just listen to the caller quickly?
please do.
Yeah, please. Yes, go.
The studio guest, and my name is Joe K. Tonola, former student of Phoebe School of Nursing. So, thank you for the program. I would like to make my own contribution.
Yes, go
First, I
ahead.
want to tell the president and the dean thank you for the updatement of the institution to university status. So, my quick take on the program is that Phoebe and Esther Bacon have graduated a lot of students that are having diploma and are working in various facilities around the country. And these students are wishing to come back to school. But there are things that we who work at the various facility that need to be taken into consideration to enable us enroll into the school system. One, the tuition comes from what we do. But the
All right, we'll
Yeah,
get back to the brother. I think he's having some network issues. So
you talk about
Mr.
the
Humphrey,
Twitter, probably, and
yeah,
whatever.
yeah, he's speaking on tuition issue. We'll try to connect with him. We'll try to connect with him. Um, Elijah, if you can just summarize your question so that Mr.
Sure.
Humphrey can respond to that quickly, please.
All right, Mr. Humphrey, I'm glad you're back. My question was, why is it that the College of Health Sciences, Esther Bacon, Phoebe Esther Bacon, why is it that you are operating on separate academic calendar when you are a one college? You have two campuses, but you are one college. Esther Bacon is giving entrance exam on another date. Phoebe is giving entrance exam on another date. Phoebe is graduating student on another date, and Esther Bacon is graduating student on another date. But you are a one college. Why is that?
Okay, thank you for that brilliant question. And like I said, Phoebe, Esther Bacon College of Health Sciences is considered now in Liberia as Center of Excellence. and we have one curriculum that nursing board monitors and things. And so when we were at the diploma level, Esther Bacon was a different status, and whereas Phoebe was on a different status. And so for us to reconcile that, we have to do things gradually. So as I speak to you now, we are trying to reconcile our academic calendar so that next semester count, we will have the same opening date and same entrance time. When we were even giving entrance, we also gave entrance on the same time. It was not the graduation, it was just a thing that we wanted to compare so that because Phoebe had some issue at the students were they were getting overstayed, so we decided to have the graduation before Esther Bacon, which was just a pilot. And I wanted to say something about the international accreditation. As I speak to you, Phoebe is the only school, the nurse anesthesia program that has international accreditation by the IFNA, Nurse Anesthesia Federation of the World. They have given us international accreditation, and so that's our status. So if somebody is speaking about international accreditation, we have.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Lower. And again, you are in tune to MLC Talk. We have a caller on the line from Total Talk. Go ahead, state your name, and you got 1 minute to make your point, please.
Very much. My name is John Dixon. You are right. I join you from Total Talk. Let me say good evening to Reverend Patmore and the President, Dr. Manakpa. But my question is, since you've been able to acknowledge that indeed the college is depopulated due to high cost of tuition, is there a plan to be able to maybe reduce the cost so that we can have more students? Because those of us who are even over here, we find it a little difficult being a part of the university. Thanks ever so much.
Thank you. So keep that question. We have another call coming in. He's asking about the costs. So are there plans to work on reducing the cost, or having more students coming in? Then we're gonna go ahead again with Brother Tonola, who was on the phone earlier. Go ahead, Brother Tonola. You have a minute to just make your point, and or ask your question, please.
Want to have more business students to enroll into the and that is to have a special class. Special class that, for instance, stay Friday and Saturday for the whole Friday and Saturday to say yes, you can do your courses for the days. You will see a lot of students who are, a lot of working people who are in a rural facility and working. They will actually come on the campus, they will register, and they will sacrifice Friday and Saturday, the whole day to spend on the campus. You will have high intake of students. In the absence of that, to have a post-business student coming is difficult. That's why you see that I had to leave Phoebe. I registered Phoebe. I registered all through. I pay money. I left Phoebe. I had to come down to Monrovia because I had to come to school for only Friday and Saturday. I couldn't afford to go to Phoebe, but I registered. But the schedule couldn't permit me. So it's necessary. Institution in Monrovia offer classes for Friday and Saturday for poor business students.
Yeah.
People leave. We have classmates from Tapeta, from Phoebe School, and they pass through Banga. They come to Monrovia for classes. We have people from San Country, from they come into the Monrovia and they tell us, say, why we can't make more out of go to school. In the answer of that, it's difficult to intake. The ordinary student I get coming from high school don't have the resources now to enroll into the university.
That's true.
Limited. But those business students are working people and they need to enroll into the university. The only way they can enroll is to have a flexible schedule for them. Right. If you don't have a flexible schedule, obviously they will not come to the university. They will prefer coming to different universities that have a flexible schedule for them. That's one. Mm-hmm. The next component is that we'll talk about the awareness into the rural
colleges. Mm-hmm.
For example, UNU open in Banga, UNU open in Ganta. What they did was they sent institutions, all of our communication was sent to our churches. They say, okay, if you send us this number of person, we have the percentage for you as an institution that you will not be able to pay.
but Tonala, the network. I think there's a network issue. All right. I think Bertonla is having a network issue. He's going to try to come back. Now this is the point. I think. Oh, okay, good. So, and also we will have a number. We'll also have a Liberian number very shortly, guys. We'll have a Liberian number that you can call directly. But this is the point, though. And I mean, my my, my coach.
When there was series of questions that were asked, at least maybe we could get them the studio guest chance to
Okay,
respond to those questions. Yeah.
yeah, we can give them a chance to respond to that. But
Yeah,
the
a
point
couple of
from
questions
Tonalai
about
is the point from Tonalai is very, very important though. Yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead, go ahead.
the issue with Torara question is good, but this is a new university in terms of funding. Opening in terms of that means they are increased the tuition for that tuition. That's a hiring fee to hire more instructors. You want to open classes or Saturday. Maybe the president can speak of that, but I'm looking at the cost that attached to some of the things. This is a new university. They are still struggling to put their foot down. So if they try to go,
Is somebody
speak,
speaking? Is it me who only hears silence?
can you
Um,
hear us?
so no, you are not silenced, Reverend Palmer. So, we're gonna give the opportunity to Mr. Lowell. He's gonna
Please.
speak to that. Then, you can come in as well, Brian. Reverend Palmer.
I think a bishop want to call in. What up? It is,
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. We'll have the Okay, yeah, okay. We'll have the bishop speaking as well. If Mr. Lua is not ready yet, then either the president or Reverend Palmer can come into the question that was asked.
Are you asking me to speak, Mr. Lowell?
Yes. Someone was asking questions about the fees.
no, the question
About fees?
about the fee. It was like adding more time. You tell me
More
the
schedule, like they're
program.
having have flexible schedules for
That's
working
what's scheduled for
working
Saturday.
individuals. Yeah, like weekend schedules.
Okay, so
Somebody
I would
working.
like to make a few comments. Dr. Manapa has said that we should have a world-class university,
Right.
meaning that there should be a monitoring system by administrators. Just as the other student guest said, creating more courses over the weekend has a cost. And so if you are getting, for example, all of the post-basic students are going over the weekend from Friday to Saturday to Sunday or Sundays. Then they need to do college requirements courses. They need to do their professional courses, meaning that you have laboratory students, you have nurse midwifery students, you have anesthesia students, you have all of the post-basic students congregating over the weekend, which will be more. It will be mostly about funding, just as the president has said. And so the issue of funding cannot be overemphasized. We need to look at it. And so if we that's a very good idea that we can use the post-basic students that have already graduated, which will have limited time in a place there, and some of them are even going to other universities. They come back with scrutinize their transcripts and other things that will also drop some of their courses. It's very good, but the issue of funding cannot be overlooked. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We have Bishop Patmo, who uh, asked to speak to this issue, and we're just gonna give him the opportunity. And Bishop, you can go ahead, please.
Yeah, okay. I'm trying to respond to, even to all, first of all,
Whatever.
I'm in a Zoom
I'm
conference
trying to
online. I'll
respond
call
to
you.
the point
No
of
problem.
Tonola, Joe Tonola,
Yes.
and also the man who talked about reduction in fees. There are two kind of good points.
In the first place, like somebody said, Dr. Toto said, this is a new university. We are fighting to find funding to support the university. The first thing I want all of us to know, those of us who are Lutheran, that this is our own undertaking and nobody can support it beside us. We cannot start, as much as we want students, we cannot start at a gratis point and we don't have the money. Like what Mr. Luel was saying to Joe Totola, before I left from Chibi, before it even became a university, when we started at New, there were weekend classes. I taught as no weekend classes, but it's cost incentive, very cost intensive. And so we have to consider all of those things. So it's not just a matter of having weekend classes, but you will need more because the professors will also have to be there. This will be at the weekend. They're going to be coming to teach, and you had to put all the different courses that they didn't do when they did a BSc or when they did a diploma. So it's not something we can do. I think we should give the administration a chance to properly plan these things, and then we can move into. It's good to make the recommendation now, but it cannot be effected right now because it needs planning, and I think it needs planning because it has some cost attached to them. That's all I want to say. We can't say every. All of us who know that people are leaving from other people to other universities, they are paying. Yes, we can talk about minimum fees, but it can be something that will put us at a point when we are not able to pay the teachers, pay the president, the staff, only because we want students. So we have to think about that. Quality education costs. It has costs attached to it. We have to make some sacrifices. When things are much better, then we can talk about those different ways of minimizing costs. But for right now, I think if we want to go to that level, we're going to get into big trouble. That's what I want to say. Thank you for letting me talk.
Thank you so much, Bishop. Thank you. Thank you so much, Bishop. We'll see you on last Sunday, Bishop Al. Thank you so much. That was the voice of the Bishop, Right Reverend Dr. Victor Chatmore.
Can I just come in?
Come in, Elijah.
Yeah, I keep hearing about I heard the bishop talking about cost, and I heard Dr. Hammer saying cost. Um, Private university are funded based on the number of intakes of students. So if you don't have enough students coming to the university, you're not going to have enough money to run the university. And the fees that the students pay goes towards the running and facilitation of the teachers who are going to be teaching them and other things that they're going to be benefiting from the university. So if we are going to run a world-class university, we don't have to wait and say we are working on it. We are too old enough as Lutheran in Liberia. The process of having a university have been long overdue. And if we say we want to start it today, we have to do it right. If we don't do it right, we're not going to do it any right better than what it is right now. So I would encourage the president, Dr. Manaba, and his co-workers, his team. It's about time that it's about time that you start having some strategic plan, because right now the world is going digital. So why if somebody is in another country like Guinea or other places that want to come to the Lutheran University, when you allow them to travel to Liberia, that's why you have online learning. So those are all things that you can start thinking about, because you have to accommodate the students who want to come to your institution. But if you do not enable that will attract students to your institution, they will go to other universities that are providing those things. So we have to start working right now at this early stage to start introducing some of those things. Because the moment we start saying we don't have money to have the, if you want to have Saturday classes, people have to pay for one people. If they have two or three Saturday classes, it must be a $50 more. If a student came and said, "Oh, I want to have my classes on Saturday because I'm a working person. He said, this is what we have available. If the student can afford the fees associated with coming on Saturday, because taking into consideration, every student is different from Ganta to go to Monrovia because they want to have flexibility in a schedule. The transportation cost to transport themselves from Ganta to Monrovia, that can be saved and goes towards whatever fees they need to pay in Phoebe to have the Saturday class. So these are things I think the administration needs to be looking into to have some flexibility and to accommodate students who want to come to the Lutheran University. That's all I wanted to say.
And then, let me
Thank-
come in.
Dr. Toto,
Yes, sir.
before you come in, but it's once it's the point Elijah just made.
Where do you go?
Yeah, sorry, Brother Johnson asked a question. You say I'm low?
But you okay now with it? You okay?
Okay. Brother Johnson asked a question. I don't think this question was answered by our guest. And I want to screen the question again. How can we guarantee quality education in the midst of lack of financial resources? Is there a fund development plan to ensure that we do not end up offering low quality education and reinforcing the status quo of do things small in Liberia, thereby compromising quality? I think we'll leave this question on for a minute. As a total, you will come in for a minute on your point. Then we gave our guests the opportunity so they can come in on this question. I think it's very, very important.
Yeah, I wanted to just in addition to that question,
Right.
that show you I wanted to make a comment. Also, I would love for Dr. Baragba to also comment on it also too. In the intro, he said that yeah, apply for a lot of assistance in terms of grant to other university in America, Europe. They have been unsuccessful. I just wanted to find out from Dr. Baragba, what are they telling him? If I order, or if I order, they are getting him. If I give him or reply to his message, what are they really telling him? You know, maybe you can share that with us. And also to Reverend Pablo, there are a lot of. Let me get it right. You are doing extremely well. I do appreciate the work that you're doing in terms of publicity, announcing entrance into there for the university. But there are a lot of criticism that have been out in recent time that you are using your personal information to do some publicity on behalf of the university. So I know that you talk about the difficulty in terms of publicity for the university, which is a very key. So is there a way that you can reach out to other people to help you either to do the publicity work of the university on a pro bono? We have some competent or Lutheran members in the diaspora and also Liberia, that has some technical knowledge to help you to rebrand the image of the university on social media and other public network, in terms of carrying on the publicity of the university. Are you looking at direction? Are you doing any engagement about that?
So the question, I think you all got the question. That is to it. Either the president can respond to that, Reverend Brian Palmer can respond to that, or Mr. Humphrey can respond to that. Dr. Toto is just asking on the issue of awareness and publicity for the university, and there have been some concerns that there is a post. Matter of fact, we have the post here that Reverend Palmer used his personal information, stating that if anyone needs information about the university, they should call that number. Call him. That's what he says. But we'll provide that information shortly.
I'll let Reverend Palmer respond to that because he put up that piece of information.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what you mean. And what's the question? I didn't hear anything being said.
Okay, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Brian?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. The question was, can you speak towards the admission process at the university or the theological college? How does admission how is admission done at the university? Because you posted on your social media page that if somebody wanted to attend the university, they should call your number, putting your private number out there. So we want to get an understanding on how admission is done in the College of Theology or in the Lutheran University. Do we have that admission process? If so, why are you using your personal number doing that?
You know, when the number, and I'll be frank, when the numbers are small, why not?
Yeah, fair enough. That's fair enough.
Right? I get a fair number of phone calls, and I return a lot of phone calls, and that's how we've gotten the few students that we've managed to get. So the day it becomes a problem is the day we'll change that. You know, and I'm a little bit afraid that I'm going to cause more problems than I should. But when I was giving out a flyer, when I was traveling around distributing flyers, I actually asked Humphrey and Peter up in Zorzor what numbers I should put. They had me put their numbers down if people want to call for more information. So this is not, at least in my view, not a particularly strange thing, and it certainly hasn't been an inconvenient thing for anybody. Does the university have its own phone numbers? Well, sure.
So I think that the point is that it will be, for publicity, it will be, wise enough to have the university's phone number so that a lot of people would know about it. A lot of people would know this is the direct number for the university still using. And it's not like you are doing something bad, but just best practice. I think he's speaking of best practice. That's why I think that's his question.
I understand you. What you call best practice, I call walking around with two phones.
That's right.
And I don't want to walk around with two phones.
All right.
So that the question back to that question that Baragba.
Okay, yeah. Let's go back to the question with
I'll be interested in that. Baragba speaking towards admission at the university. How is that done for all of the colleges? Who's responsible? Where is that person sitting?
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, okay. I thought you were talking about Leo's question.
Your question about the financial. Also, I said that Baragba said he applied for grant financial assistance from abroad. He had not been successful. What are they really telling him?
Okay, all right. So we'll take these three questions, then we'll have our. Yeah, go ahead.
Let me say something real quickly. Each of the three campuses has its own admissions process. We have been actually working towards establishing some uniformity, and I have modeled the Totota admissions process to be virtually identical to the Phoebe admissions process, except it doesn't have extra staff because we don't have extra staff to do it. And frankly, when the numbers are as small as they are, you don't need extra staff to handle a dozen applications, right? What I'm working towards, and you kind of alluded to this earlier when you asked Humphrey about different schedules between Zorzor and Phoebe, and I frankly am proud of the fact that Humphrey and Peter and I have gotten together a multitude of times working towards creating uniformity within the three campuses. And we did, in fact, sit and try to establish a good schedule for this past semester that we would all follow. We all deviated from it a little bit, but it was frankly a pretty good start. We have a student handbook that the three of us sat down and edited, and now the entire university uses the same student handbook. These are all there's a lot of work to be done to create the uniformity that you were alluding to, and frankly, John Dixon from Totota, I know this man, called asking about lowering costs. that's a challenge again in terms of this uniformity amongst the campuses. It doesn't make sense for Phoebe to be lowering cost, and yet at the same time, English 101 and Math 101 and a lot of these other general course requirements that are offered in Totota and offered at Phoebe and offered in Zorzor are in theory interchangeable among those three campuses. We can't charge different prices for them at the different campuses. You understand? So the quest for uniformity, which I think is a good thing, comes at the cost of some things maybe being less than optimum for one campus than, but that's a compromise that needs to be made.
Um, I see that Mr. Lower is muted. So Mr. Lower, if you can unmute yourself, then that's fine. But there's a question for Dr. Malakwa to speak to the Dr. Tutu. What was your question again about
About the financial aspect.
financial sustainability? I think it's in line with the
About
question from Leo.
what Leo said about what your father or that I and the Baragua said that you have been also successful.
Okay. So
So they want to know what are they ready telling him? You know,
okay. So that Malakwa, Dr. Tutu wants to just be sure that he wants us to know, or the public to know, what have you been hearing since you've been reaching out for funding into source funding, and there have been some negative feedback, so to speak. But there's a question here from our brother Leo Napoli Johnson, and maybe I could just summarize the question. He's asking, what are the plans to sustain a financial sustainability plans to enable LUL to continue a quality education. In the absence of finance, it'd be difficult for us to um, implement the plan of a quality education. So that's why he's asking, what are those plans so that our goal or our vision is not compromised of having a world class university.
That's a very good question. And let me respond to both questions.
Thank you.
That of not compromising our vision, our goals, and what am I hearing from sources and resources. Um, our major source of income right now is student tuition. Um, we have also some of our instructors who are who are on government payroll. That is a major contribution. We certainly hope to go beyond that and get greater government subsidy into the university. But right now, student enrollment and a few international sources are areas that we look up to for funding. And we need those funding sources to support us to get a world-class university. We will not compromise quality in light of limited funding. This is where I'm appealing to all of us to support the university, finding sources and resources for funding the university. What am I hearing from the sources I've contacted? Um, Believe me, I've contacted many sources, from the United Nations to the European Union to USAID to Lutheran congregations in Europe and America and Canada, Australia. I can provide you copies of some of my emails to these different places. Um, what I hear from them is that we don't have money to support. We've supported the Lutheran Church for a long time. We don't have sources to support at this time. One uh, one source in Germany says, "No, we will be able to collaborate with you. We're working to work with you, We don't have much money. Even if we were to provide money, it wouldn't be much to sustain the university. Um, I've contacted a few congregations within the United States, and they are saying we don't have much money. If we provide anything, will be limited. Our members in Aliyah have contacted their senates that have provided us with some degree, some limited funding possibility, say for the technology hub. And one senator has provided $15,000 for the technology hub. But in general, we are being turned back because of uh, either the sources in Europe, for example, have provided money for the LCL, and they said they have not found a lot of uh, um, uh, results, satisfactory results. One source in Norway, for example, said they were not funding providing sources uh, anymore, or at least for now. And I tried to convince them that the LUL is a semi-autonomous agency. We have our own budget. We are not affiliated with the LCL. We have our own budget. I report to the board of trustees, and we will provide evidence of the efficacy and efficiency of our expenditures. Um, Apparently, that has not been convincing enough. So we will continue to beat the bushes. Um, we have asked for grant sources, and I've not written. I have experience in writing grants, but um, I've not gotten any grant source so far that I can send a grant request to. Personally negotiating with um, uh, a church and a congregation that says, okay, fill up this form and we will respond. I'm going to do that, but I don't expect enormous amount of money from them. If we get $1,000 or less, would be most appreciated, but we don't expect a huge quantity of money, and that's precisely what we need to run the university. So I'm beating the bushes, believe you me. I will not stop. I'm embarking on now within the country, talking to prominent Lutherans who can help to raise funds for LUL. Let me be clear, we are not compromising quality in light of limited resources, financial resources. To prevent that compromising, we will do everything we can to raise funds. We will try to use whatever funds we get through student registration as efficiently as possible. And I underscore the word efficiently because that's what's needed to ensure that whatever monies we receive are used for the benefit of the university. I call on you, Lutherans in the diaspora and Lutherans within the nation, within Liberia, to join us in finding sources and resources for funding of our university.
Thank you. I will continue to beat the bush. We will not compromise quality education in the midst of financial struggle. We will not compromise quality education. As the voice of the president of the Lutheran University, Dr. Sakui Malapa. At this time is fast spent, folks. We will give the opportunity to our guests. They will come in with a minute each closing comment. And then I think there's a need for us to have a second round on this, maybe sometime in February or so. But we'll discuss that in the back end and see how we can bring the Lutheran University, and maybe we'll look at some of the areas that we can see. We can work on maybe in terms of either fundraiser or some other programs. But it was a wonderful, wonderful evening having the leadership of the Lutheran University here with us tonight. Mr. Humphrey, we're going to give you the opportunity for 1 minute summary, and we're going to go to Reverend Palmer, and we'll also give the opportunity again to Dr. Manapa for a minute summary. Then we go to our studio host.
Well, thank you so much for the opportunity providing also be part of this discussion. And just as the president has said, we have history and evidence enough. We will not compromise quality education for financial difficulties or whatever be the case. And one thing I left out I did not include in the overview of the discussion was the number of students in training. As of today, we have 300, 553 students, both Phoebe and 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 and, and so also campuses. So if you add total, you have the total sum of total number of students in training. And so I want to say thank you for the opportunity provided, giving us to be part of the discussion, and thank you to the studio guests of the platform, from the platform and that of the university structure. Thank you so much for giving me the time.
Thank you so much, Mr. Loa. Reverend Palmer.
I just want to say thank you. This is terrific. I was not aware of this program, and to learn that there is a group of Lutheran Liberians out there who have a passion for the Liberian people and want to see good things happen is exciting to me. I know I am fully committed, along with Dr. Malakpa and Dean Lowell, to see excellence be the norm for the Lutheran University of Liberia. And I'm actually confident that with some assistance from the outside world, um, and and our commitment, that we're going to be successful. I'm very pleased with the progress we've made in the short period of time we've been working at it, and I'm again very confident that things will just be outstanding in the near future.
Thank you so much, Reverend Palmer. And Dr. Monica, your closing comment.
Thank you very much, Willie, and the platform guests. It's a pleasure to be here. I welcome the opportunity to talk about Lutheran University of Liberia. I thank the Lutheran Church of Liberia and ALIA, the Association of Liberian Lutherans in the Americas, and the personnel we have on ground at the Lutheran University for all of us making sacrifices. Look, we all need to make sacrifices. We all need to put hands together, as they say, all hands on deck. Um, I don't want to blow my own horn, but I was installed on January 21st, 2024. And from then and now, I've not been paid, except for $6,000 I received a few months ago to cover my travels and car repairs and all those kind of things. That's not going to continue forever. But the point I'm trying to make here is that we need to make sacrifices. And I call on you, the panel guests, the Lutherans in America and Lutherans in Liberia, to put hands together. Only we can raise the Lutheran University of Liberia to a level that we expect it to be a world-class university. We will welcome assistance from abroad. We'll welcome grant sources. We'll welcome government sources. But we need to be the vanguards of raising the Lutheran University of Liberia to the level where we want it to be, as proud as we were of LTI, as proud as we are of other Lutheran high schools and elementary schools. We have to be on the forefront. I appeal to you to work with us, to provide funds, to raise funds, at least to point us to funding sources so that we can get the funds we need to establish new facilities, improve our current facilities, and to have equipment and personnel that will make this university the world-class university we want it to be. It's up to you. It's up to us. Join us, please. And I have no doubt that we will succeed if we work amicably, effectively, cooperatively, and judiciously and industriously together. That word togetherness is the key. It can't be left to one person. It can't be left to Aliyah. It can't be left to LCL. It can't be left to LUL alone. We need to work together to get where we want to be. Thank you very much for the opportunity, and I look forward to further discussion on these issues.
Thank you so much. We will succeed if we work together. The words of Dr. Sakwi Malakba. We want to say thank you so much, President of Lutheran University. Humphrey Llewell, want to say thank you again for the evening spent with us, and also Reverend Brian Palmer. We will be talking with you again another time. Um, we'll have our 1 minute wrap up closing comment from Dr. George Tutu and also our brother Elijah Zina. Then we will have our bishop, the Reverend Dr. G. Victor Patmo, will be giving us the benediction on this first Sunday, 2025.
So then, I like the closing statement of Dr. Balak, you know, for the appeal that this university is owned by us,
On the Stellar Conference.
Lutheran from Liberia,
We learn tonight or tomorrow.
and we should do everything in our will to support the university and for it to be successful. So this is a very good discussion, and that's what we wanted for the university leadership to come on the platform, give us an update on the progress they have made. And they have spoken well on some of the good development at the university. I'm so impressed to see the work of Reverend Palmer and also Humphrey and Dr. Malakwa from their office. Respect them. So we hope to be part of the process, and I think we need to do our due diligence on the network also too, to have a special time, to carry a fundraiser awareness to support the work of the university. And like one of the questions said, in the midst of financial resources, it's very difficult to run a university. You know, what we think run a university, especially in countries like Liberia, where we have a lot of challenges, economic hardship, everything in that country affect the morale of the student. They don't have while we are in the diaspora, we will help to work to support the vision of the university and make the university be a successful university, not just only in Liberia, but in the South region as a whole. So thanks, Dr. Malakba, Reverend Palmer, and Brother Humphrey for the good work. And we'll give you all there to give you guys the support also too.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tutu. Brother Zina?
Yeah. First of all, I want to say thank you to our studio guest today, the leadership team of the Lutheran University. Thank you for what you're doing. We know that there's a lot to be done. Um, we all have to work together, like the president said. We have to work together to make sure that we succeed in this endeavor. The beginning of everything can be hard, but as we work collaboratively, we can succeed. I will encourage the leadership of the Lutheran University. One thing I can always say on this platform is that the Lutheran Church in Liberia is not brain drained when it comes to human resources. All you need to do is to tap into the human resources that the Lutheran Church in Liberia has. So you need to ask questions, you need to ask for help. Places that you think you are falling short, ask for help, and you have people to come in to help you. But if you don't reach out, you don't ask questions, you don't ask people to help you, people will sit back and look at you. So I want the Lutheran University leadership to think about that seriously, thinking about leveraging some of the human resources that you have available that you can use, that they can help you make the university what you want it to be. And we really appreciate you making up the time to sit with us tonight to talk about this. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, folks. Again, has been a wonderful evening with you all. At this time, we're going to have our bishop, the Right Reverend Dr. G. Victor Patmo, will be doing for us our benediction, and I will close us for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you to all of you people today on the show. Thank you to the staff here in Liberia. And at the registry, it's just quite not an easy thing. Unless all of us put our hands together, we will not have what we want. But we are sure, we are hopeful that we will get there. Thank you. So let us receive the blessings. The Lord bless us and keep us.
The Lord make his face shine on us and be gracious to us. The Lord lift up his countenance upon us and give us peace. And forevermore, in the name of God the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen.